What is up, guys? It's Cal, and in this video I'm going to talk to you all about Plunderstorm. Now, I'm a bit late to the game with this event, but it's better late than never. If you haven't tried out Plunderstorm yet or haven't seen a single video on it, I'll go through it step by step and even talk about what abilities and skills were my favorite after playing it for a few hours. So let's get started. So first off, this has pretty much been data mined to run for a total of 6 weeks. As of making this video, Blizzard actually hasn't confirmed that. I think they really want to see the players react to it first, and if the reviews of it are mostly positive, they'll keep it around, but if people completely crap on it, then they'll get rid of it after 6 weeks. I honestly don't see a reason to get rid of it at all. I do think it might seem a little clumsy having to click a button at the top of the screen to enter the game mode. I do think it would work well if they just integrated it into a WoW battleground where level doesn't matter, you can go against anyone. But anyways, let's get into what Plunderstorm is actually about. So it is a 60-person battle royale which takes place in the Arathi Highlands. Everyone has 2 baseline abilities, Slash and Health Brew. Slash is a basic attack and Health Brew is a channeled heal on a 30-second cooldown, which does slow you while channeling, and also taking damage does break the channel. Now, you are able to customize your character. All this does is affect your appearance and has no bearing on gameplay mechanics. You can also play in duos as well. If you do play in duos, you can revive your partner by standing on them for 10 seconds, hoping no one hits you. I never did duos, but the game puts you into this lobby to begin with, where you can try out various abilities and different things. So when you enter the Arathi Highlands, you enter on a Raven and you can dive bomb locations with it. Just a helpful tip, at a certain point you'll learn where certain elites are on the map. If you start out above any of those elites, dive bombing them is the best way to start out, because you almost guarantee yourself a level at the very start of every match. So now that you've landed, you run around and you fight enemies around you with your basic slash attack. NPCs to start off with, typically. Killing these enemies will get you XP while also dropping plundered gold. Now, you definitely do want to pick up the plundered gold because that ties into the rewards system of this event, which I'll talk about later. But definitely still grab the gold. So as you get XP, you'll level up, which increases your base damage as well as your health. I believe the max level to reach in a single Plunderstorm match is 10. I've never seen anyone above level 10. I've also never gotten to level 10 myself, but it isn't very easy to get to. Unless you just go ham and start, killing everyone you see at the beginning. Now, as you go through, you'll pick up offensive abilities as well as utility spells and even items. You can get 2 of each, but only hold 1 item at a time, and the items are consumed when used. But the offensive abilities and utility spells are not. You can grab and swap out whichever ones you want and don't want, and then these abilities can be leveled up as well, just like higher ranks of them, if you end up grabbing a second one that you find on the ground while you're already holding one of that same ability. It'll level up, which makes it do more damage and also reduces its cooldown by a couple seconds. And then you go around killing people with these abilities. And killing people, of course, gives you experience, obviously more than NPCs, and when people die, they drop everything that they had on them. You also drop your plunder, but not all of it, of course. You can still retain onto most of it, which allows you to go up the various renown levels for different transmogs and other items you can get. There are also chests around the field which you can open, and simply opening them gives you experience as well, and the chests can have plunder in them, or they can also have abilities. There are also quests that the game gives you as you walk around, which might be something simple as cast 3 spells or use 5 items, or something even harder like defeat a big elite enemy. There is this giant plunder monster that does a lot of damage if it gets near you, but when he dies, he does drop a lot of plunder as well as higher ranks of various abilities. But anyways, completing these quests gives you XP, but also a good amount of plunder. A lot of people are saying that the best way to farm plunder is to actually spawn in, complete the quest it gives you, and then just get yourself killed, because at the moment the renown levels do take a while to get. And trying to get to level 40 within a 6-week period, or however long this lasts, won't be easy. And then every so often there's a storm that comes in that makes the area smaller. Being in the storm for a short while won't kill you, but of course you want to avoid it at all costs. Now let's get into all of these abilities and spells, and even items. So there is Earthbreaker, which is a casting AoE around the caster. It stuns and hurts anyone in its circle. Fire Whirl, small AoE on the caster, and you will automatically move and hurt anyone in your path. Holy Shield, you throw a projectile, hurting anyone in the path, and you can recast it to put a big AoE circle on where that projectile lands. There's Manosphere, pretty similar to Holy Shield, except there's no recast with it and it just knocks back and damages anyone it comes into contact with. Rime Arrow fires an ice arrow that heat seeks on a target. Searing Axe, close range frontal cone ability, knocking back whoever it hits. Slicing Winds, you hold it to charge it and you can charge forward, hitting anyone in your path. Star Bomb, casted in an area, hurts anyone in it and pulls them to the center location. Storm Action, which can be cast 3 times before going on cooldown and attacks as an element in a line in front of you. And then there's Toxic Smackerel. It's a melee frontal cone and it poisons anyone who gets hit by it. Then the utility spells. Steel Traps. You put 5 traps around you and if anyone enters them, it hurts them and roots them. Fade to Shadow. It acts as a blink plus a vanish. Fae Form, it's the same thing as the Soul Shape ability from Night Fae and Shadowlands, except it makes you immune to abilities while it's on. Hunter's Chains, chains yourself to a target, and then reactivating it pulls yourself to that target. Lightning Bulwark, it's a short cast, but it makes you immune to the first hit you take while in that short cast, and it increases your movement speed by a lot. Repel, cast time, and it knocks enemies back from you, silencing them. Snowdrift, channeled cast, hits and slows anyone who is close to you. Windstorm, which fires in a line similar to Manosphere and Holy Shield, but it stuns and hurts the first person that it hits. And then there is Explosive Caltrops, which I don't think I ever used, but it disengages you backwards and drops bombs that hurt and slow enemies that it hits. As well as Quaking Leap, which I also don't think I used. You lurch forward and hurt anyone and stun anyone you land on. Now, I'll get to the items in a minute, but from the offensive abilities, my favorites are probably Rime Arrow, which doesn't do a lot of damage, but you can't miss with it because it heat seeks on an enemy. It also hits pretty fast. So if someone's running away from you with low health, it will hit them and sometimes kill them. Also, Earthbreaker, which does have a 2-second cast, but if you get it off and stun someone with it, you could really mess them up. I'd probably also put Manosphere in here as well. You do hold it to charge it, but it is a very good ability to do damage while also gaining distance on your targets. My secondary favorites would probably be Fire Whirl. I know a lot of people do seem to use it. It does okay damage, but you can still get stunned if someone uses Earthbreaker or something, which will cancel it. Also, Slicing Winds, which does a fair amount of damage, and it's also good at running away from someone if you know they can kill you. For the utility abilities, my favorites are Steel Traps. Getting in close quarters with someone and rooting them is very good because you can then just wail on them with range attacks if you have those. Also, Fade to Shadow, a very good ability at getting away from people since it's a blink that stealths you. Also, Fae Form, same reasons as Fade to Shadow, plus it makes you immune to attacks. My secondary favorites are Snowdrift. I actually use this one quite a lot when I found it, but you do need to be in close quarters for it to be effective. And if they have like a higher rank offensive abilities than you, it will be a bad time for you. And then also Windstorm. It can be hard to hit the target, but if you do, you straight up just stun them, so it has its worth. I would also probably put Quaking Leap on here somewhere as well, because it sounds good and I saw a lot of people using it. It's just that I never got to use it myself. Now, there are a ton of items that you can pick up as well and use. They aren't upgradable and are consumed on use, and you can only hold one at a time. I won't go through all of them, but I will mention some that I liked. There is Barrel Roll, which I believe is like the default one. You're in a barrel, you roll around at high speeds. This is very good at getting away from people, but I saw more people actually using it in combat, honestly, like knocking into people with it. It can also apparently be used to roll on water, which I never tried out. There was a rigged chest, which I actually never saw in action. What it does is it puts a chest on the ground, and if someone uses it, it will explode and hurt them. I used the rigged chest once, but never actually saw anyone use it. Then one of my favorites is the Ambush. You literally disguise yourself as a bush. I can't remember if I ever used it. I guess I'll know when I edit this video to find some footage, but I definitely saw others use it and it looked pretty fun. Then there's apparently like 20 other pickups, so try them all out. Then finally, I want to talk about the Renown system. So like I said, you'll gather plunder while going through a zone. When you die, you lose some plunder, but not all of it. So if you win, you of course retain all of your plunder. For the most part, all of the plunder level rewards are transmog pieces. At level 11, there is a companion pet named Bubbles. At level 24, you apparently get a tiny plumed tricorn. Level 30 is the Glamrock pet with the first mate title. Level 33 gives you a plundered chest of tender, another 500 Trader's Tender. Level 39 gives you the Polly Roger mount in both Retail and Wrath Classic. Then level 40, the final level, is the Plunder Lord title as well as the Plunder Lord's tabard. And that's it. All of the rewards and abilities and how the game works and how it all works. Like I said in the start, no reason to get rid of the game mode, just bake it into retail WoW. Why not? But if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like on it. You can sub to the channel for more videos like this, and I will see you all in the next video.